Hello everyone, welcome back. I just want to talk about my VOSTOK Amphibia. I purchased this watch probably about 3-4 months ago, and this is just my impression of it, and so far just a little review of how it's been holding up. I would have to say that this is a very good watch, and if you're wanting a dive watch, you cannot go wrong with it. So I will definitely purchase more VOSTOK watches because it is tough. So I'll tell you a little bit about it, and then I'll have some close-up shots of it because it is a beautiful watch in my opinion. Hopefully you agree as well. But I'll have that rolling in here as well. Anyway, so all of this started because my lovely wife purchased me a Fossil watch, and that thing didn't even last a month and a half, because she gave it to me, and number one, we all know Fossil usually looks good, and it was a beautiful watch and all that good stuff, but it did not work for me. The reason being because apparently I wear my watches the wrong way. I personally wear my watch all the time. I never take it off, and if I'm going to have a watch, it's going to be on me at all times. So I found that out because apparently most everybody takes their watch off or coordinates with the outfit. I could care less. Anyways, that Fossil watch, like I said, made it a month and a half. So the reason it failed was because water got underneath the crystal or inside the watch. Well, it wasn't the watch's fault because it was a, I believe, 5 ATM rating. So it should have taken the minimal abuse that I was giving it, or the daily abuse. But like I said, I wear mine all the time, and I kept banging it onto things, and finally I guess you could see little chips around the crystal, and water seeped into it because I use mine in the swimming pool and all kinds of places. Long story short, that watch failed. So then I started, then I went online or YouTube to search for watches. So I went down that rabbit hole, and there's a ridiculous amount of good information on YouTube about any freaking watch. But I do have to say, all I want now is just one more watch. Let's go into the VOSTOK Amphibia. So this is a dive watch, 200 meter. VOSTOK, if you don't know, it's a Russian-made watch, and apparently it's a tank, and that is one of the reasons that I bought it. So I ended up getting this watch about 3 or 4 months ago. Within the first week, I was changing the oil on my car, and as a professional homeowner, as you're taking the drain plug off, it's an art of not getting oil on you. Well, didn't go as planned, and a little bit of oil got onto the watch. As you're underneath there, and my fat fingers, it's tight space in there. Anyways, so within a week of ownership, I had used motor oil on it. Survived that, no problem. Then I would say legit, I got this at the beginning of the month, and at the end of the month, my wife and some friends, we annually do this mud run. It's a 5K mud run. So 5K obstacle course, and you run around these obstacles, or through these obstacles in mud. So we ended up doing that, and I wore this watch the whole time. So it was caked in mud. Went through a creek, and that had abrasive settlements in there. It survived it just fine. It did really well, and that's all I asked for it. So I ended up paying $102 off of Amazon for this Amphibia, VOSTOK Amphibia watch, and I do not regret it one bit. Honestly, I'm sure you could get them cheaper somewhere, but that doesn't bother me. I literally got it, and it is serving the purpose that I wanted to serve. And I genuinely love this watch, and I am going to eventually get more VOSTOK watches. So far, when it comes to wearing it, for me it is comfortable. You can look up the stats on it and all that good stuff. Apparently, the bracelet is known for pulling hair out off the wrists. I haven't had any issues with that, contrary to my head. I do have plenty of hair on my arms and the rest of my body, but I have not had that issue. The issue that I did have, and I have to agree with basically every review, is the clasp. I mean, it's trash. It really is, because it's kind of difficult to take off, and when you put it in, or put it back on, you have to make sure that it's seated properly and then put it on. But for $100, I genuinely could care less, because this is, for me, this is what I wanted, and I am more than happy with the watch. And I cannot complain really that much on it, because I knew what I was getting into. Apparently, most people modify these and take the bracelet off and put whatever on that they want. Could care less. Like, it's got, definitely has some scratches on it, because I wear it at work. There's departments that I can't wear it in, so I'm constantly taking it off and on. This watch is tough, man. Like, because I'm not gentle with it at all. At work, when I wear it, I'm usually working about like machinery and all that stuff, banging it on all kinds of stuff. Right before coming home today, I don't know what the heck I was walking next to, maybe an iron beam or something like that, but I decked the heck out of this watch, like just banged it. But it's fine, like it is fine, and it took it, and no problems. Apparently, it's not the most accurate. What's it called? Apparently, it's not the most accurate movement. But I've only adjusted it one time in the 3 to 4 months of ownership, and to me that's fine, because it was not off by much at all. It was like maybe a minute or two, if that. So for me, it's been a very accurate watch. The lume, not the greatest, but you know, in the morning when I take my over 30 night pee, I can definitely see it without any issues. So if you're thinking of getting a VOSTOK, I would definitely suggest one, because it's a fantastic watch. And I will say this, in public, there was one individual, you know, I don't know the guy, but he was like, "Hey, nice watch." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, thanks." And he was like, "Is it a VOSTOK?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's a VOSTOK. What you got?" He's like, "I have a VOSTOK too." So, apparently there is people genuinely do like this watch. Because out of all the watches that I've seen, you know, people love this one. Because many times I've met, you know, in the 3 or 4 months that I've apparently I'm hooked on watches now, but in public I would see dudes wearing watches. I'd be like, "Hey guy, what is that?" And they're like, "I don't know, some Amazon knockoff." So they don't care, they're just using it as a fashion piece, which not my thing. I just want a watch that works, and to me it looks great, blah blah blah. Eventually I might mod it for a sapphire crystal if possible, because I bet money in a year this is going to be out. I'm going to scratch, like really scratch this crystal here, because I'm just rough on my watches, and that's honestly what I want. When I go ride, I wear this, and you know, when I get done riding, I have to wipe off the bugs off my visor and my watch. You know, it's just part of life. But that is what it's for. So if you are truly wanting, if you're thinking about getting a VOSTOK Amphibia watch, I would definitely recommend it. Don't hesitate. Do understand that it's not top tier stuff. Like, it's not going to be glorious, but it's going to work, and you, in its own weird way, you will be happy with it. Like, this is a dome crystal. When I first got it, I was like, oh man, not a dome crystal, but it's done well. Like, there's no issues with it. It grew on me. I love it. I still prefer a flat crystal, but like, it genuinely doesn't bother me, and I love this watch. So if you're considering it, go for it. Just know that it won't be top tier stuff, but I don't think you will regret the watch. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed my little story. I did purchase another watch, so probably in a few months I'll put up another video of that. But you know, that's on man time, so I got up to 3 years. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you enjoy this and got something out of it. Have a good day.